So we're playing 2-5 at Bellagio, which
Okay.
I'm sure is a game you're probably familiar with. 500 cap, but me and the main villain have been at it for probably a couple hours at this point. Stacks are getting decently deep.
You know, I've
I
actually never played this game at the Bellagio. It surprises me though, because I always LOL laugh, right? Like at Commerce or at Hollywood Park that the $5 blind game is so ridiculously restricted cap, but Bellagio has a 500 cap. It's just bizarre to me, you know?
yeah, yeah, and I mean it is probably the shallowest 2-5 in Vegas that I can think of. But I mean the game plays pretty well, and I've been pretty successful there, so I don't mind playing it.
No, of course. And what's
Um,
the drop? It's a rake, right? It's not a drop.
yeah, it's a raked game.
So it's like 10% up to like $5 or something.
Yep, that sounds about right. I
Do,
don't know if it's five or maybe six, but yeah, it's something like that.
do they take a bad beat jackpot?
No, no jackpots there.
So, by the way, this is why, you know, I actually got a text from a buddy of mine too. He said he used to lived in LA, really long time, played LA, plays mostly, $5 blind. He said, I'm moving to Vegas. I'm like, really? You're going to fucking move to Vegas? And he's like, yeah, it's just, in California with no comps, with the $8 flat drop. I mean, you can see the difference between 10% up to $5 at Bellagio for a 500 cap versus playing 5-5 at the bike with an $8 flat drop with a bad beat jackpot. I mean, you're talking about paying what, 2-3 times as much per hour sometimes, as much as it's just
Yeah,
insane. It's insane.
that's gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
My local games, I'm from Maryland. My local games they all have jackpots,
Uh huh.
so the drop gets pretty big. Even the lower stakes, even like a 1-3 game, they'll
Yeah.
drop $8 or something like that.
Crazy. All right. So 2-5 Bellagio, 500 cap. Okay. Yep.
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 I have about 1400 in front of me. Villain covers.
Okay.
So pre-flop, I am on the button with Ace of Spades, Queen of Spades, and it folds around to the hijack, who's been at the table for about the same amount of time as I have.
Okay.
Seems pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any history with him though, so
Yeah.
folds to the hijack. He opens to 20.
Okay.
Cutoff folds, and I think this is a pretty standard three bet, so I make it 60.
Is this the standard open too to 20 usually in this game?
It's 15 or 20. I mean, I've been opening to 20. I think that's pretty standard.
Okay. So 3-bet on the button with ace queen of spades to 60.
60.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the blinds fold and the hijack calls.
So you're just heads up.
Yep, heads up.
All right. So hijack calls, heads up, pot's like 125. Okay.
Yeah, one. Yep. Flop is ace of hearts, six of hearts, queen of clubs.
Ace of hearts, six of hearts, queen of clubs. So you got top two.
I do.
Awesome.
Feeling pretty good about it.
Yep.
But the reason that I wrote you about this hand was because it just proceeded so strangely that I wanted to get your opinion on it. The hijack here leads for
Yes.
for $50.
And of course, the reason why this is strange, although I see it a shit ton in Texas, is that it's so bizarre in this configuration when you think about it from a theoretical perspective for the hijack to lead into a three-better on an ace-high board like this, especially when the ace-high boards are somewhat static in the sense that, like, it's not like the board's 9-deuce-4 where a guy who called your 3-bet with pocket eights wants to just lead and take it down so you don't get like free cards or get barreled off with ace king, right? Like,
Right.
why is he betting?
Yeah,
Like,
he's got to feel like if he
to bet, like, I mean, why would somebody like come out and bet like ace seven here? It's just bizarre, right?
yeah, and if he has something like maybe a set of sixes or something, then he's got to know that I'm going to bet this flop. So it wouldn't really make any sense for him to do this. So this is why I was a little confused, but at the same time, I'm sitting here with top two, and there are draws out there, so I felt it was a good time to raise.
I would raise here. I would absolutely raise here. I think you'll find draws a lot here too. One of the things that I used to do as well. I mean, I think I can even see raising here with ace king, to be perfectly honest with you. But even on like a board of, let's say, for example, the board was like ace 7-3 with like a two flush, and I had ace king, I'd raise a lot. I used to do that at Commerce too, a lot. A lot. So just one other quick thing to say about this too is that I would rather have pocket queens here than pocket aces, right? Versus this lead, just because,
Yeah.
So how much does he lead for?
He led for $50, and I made it 175.
All right, so hijack bets 50. Hero to 175. Okay.
Yeah, so he tanked for a little bit. Eventually, he does call here.
Okay.
And at that point, I'm thinking he has hearts, Jack 10 of hearts, 9 10 of hearts, maybe a queen, queen 10, queen jack, or maybe even a weaker ace.
I might have actually made it slightly larger than this. I might have actually gone to 200 to 225 because I think all those hands are still calling. Just knowing that you've got 1400 and I want to just build. I mean, just as a little subtle thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I figured that because I was in position, I would have the opportunity to juice it up if I wanted to later. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't doubt that you're right on that one. So I'll take that into consideration.
So you go 175, he calls, and the pot is 475 now?
470, yeah, 477 before the drop.
Okay. So here at a 175 hijack calls. I'm liking it. Okay. Turn?
The turn is a deuce of spades.
Oh, pretty big brick, right?
Yeah, total brick.
Yep.
But again, he leads.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, this guy had been playing for the most part pretty solidly, pretty aggressive, but solid. And I was like, I was confused by this action more than anything else. He made it 225.
Oh my God. All right. So hijack leads 225. So what I would be thinking about here is that it's kind of weird because it's not really a block bet. Like sometimes you'll see people block with like draws. Like, oh, I made it 150. I bet 50 or 175, and now he's going to block like 100 into 475, and maybe he'll just call, right? This is 225, though. It kind of makes me think that he's got like ace jack, ace 10, some bullshit again. I will go back exactly, though, to what I was saying to Mike G, my moderator, is that I don't like at the smaller stakes calling here, because what's going to happen is that you're going to, if the river's a brick, you will see a very, very large reflection of a check. Now, if it goes 225 and you call, so now the pot's like not, you're putting in 450 here on the turn. So, the pot's going to be like 925 and you guys are going to have like about a pot size bet left.
Size, yeah.
I guess if the river's a brick and you think you can make up for it, you can just move all in if you think he's going to call you. So you have to watch the stack sizes. I still like to bump it up here to like 500, 475 to 500 to get the money in, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, maybe that's where I made a mistake, because again, this was such a confusing action. I'm not often sitting at the table just kind of lost, because I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but I had no idea what to make of this. And so I thought about it for about, 15 seconds or so. And I just flatted.
Now some people are saying in the live chat, ace could be this way, but the dude has ace queen. I mean, in order for this guy to have ace, he'd have to just flat the 3-bet. And then here's the thing that's not logical about some of these big hands that people sometimes are sort of scared with monsters under the bed. If a guy is going to flat a 3-bet as a trap, right, with ace in this configuration, is he going to lead out with top set on the flop and then lead out on the turn after you raised him? It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible, but there's only one combo of ace. So I just think I would start, like I said, I would start bumping it up. I would start bumping it up now. But because, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of action card killers here that can come too. What if he has ace king? I mean, I think ace king is viable here too, that somebody might play this way. They say, they wait for a card. He's not going to fold that. So he bets 225 and a call, so 450. So the pot's 925. Is that right?
Yep, they're about 925.
925, and you guys have like
about
900.
we're 940 effective, left 950, something like that.
All right, great. Yep. Okay.
So the river peels off the 10 of spades.
10 of spades, so it doesn't really do anything except complete like a king jack of hearts type of hand, right?
Right.
Yeah.
which I mean, I suppose he could play this way, but again, I was just still kind of thinking that he was weighted more towards a weaker ace or maybe a queen, maybe even queen 10 that being two pair on the river. And he checks.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about, right? This is exactly what I was talking about in the sense that this kind of smells like ace king to me. And this is why I like to raise the turn, because now you're in a situation where if you really want to get all the money in, you're going to have to move all. You said you have what, 940 left in the pot's 925, something like
Yeah,
that,
something
right?
like that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So hijack checks. I mean, the way that he has bet the flop and bet the turn after you raised, I honestly, I mean, like I said, I probably wouldn't have arrived on the river here this way, but I think I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to shove all in. Or you can do a thing here where you leave him a little bit of money left over here. Just sometimes you'll get a higher frequency of people who just don't want to call off. But this is the situation that I don't want to be in here. The reason though I do want to like make a full bet here is that he really does seem to have something here. And you can't tell me that a guy with ace king here is going to check fold at the end when the hearts break out for a full pot size bet,
Well, again, maybe this is a mistake that I made because I didn't do any of those things. I was thinking in my head at that point that maybe he has something like queen 10 or ace 10 or something along those lines, or maybe still a missed heart draw, and those draws are going to fold to a bet, and two pair with queen 10 ace 10, they're probably going to call it not a humongous bet. So I bet smaller. I bet 350.
But by the way, people are saying 6-6. I can't. The other thing too about 6-6, which is again the board is ace 6 queen deuce 10. I mean, in order for someone to have 6-6, they would have to lead into the pre-flop three better, right? Just call your raise, then donk again, right? You call, and now he's going to check the river on a 10. Why would anyone play 6-6 that way?
Yeah, I would think he would be a lot more aggressive on the river with a set of sixes.
All right, so hijack checks, and you bet 350 into 925, leaving him basically 600. Do you see what I'm talking about here, though? I'm not a huge fan of this.
I do. Yeah, I think about this hand often because it's so bizarre, and there are a lot of inflection points where I'm like, I could have done something different, and this is certainly one of them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Some people are also saying King Jack of Hearts. Really, King Jack of Hearts is going to lead flop call, bet the turn, and now check the river when they make it. This is the same reason why you're probably not going to see checks on the river with King Jack of Hearts, for the same reasons why the guy from the last call called down with aces up. People just don't value bet enough in the caller spot. In the caller spot, a lot of guys are checking back ace king, so it's a disaster. By the way, if you had ace king and played it this way, if you had ace king instead of ace queen here and played it this way, what would you have done here at the end?
Oh boy, I mean, I probably check back.
You check back ace king. What do you think you're behind to?
Again, those two pair hands.
You like ace 6 and ace deuce?
I mean, ace 10, queen 10.
That check at the end? I don't know, man. Like, I think ace king is a bet here too, and I might take it for the smaller sizing. But I still might have raised the turn with ace king, but as played with ace queen calling here, I'm shoving. So, all right, so you bet 350 into 925, okay?
And he immediately jams.
He jammed?
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, that's really, really bizarre. I'm not expecting that. So 350 into 925 call. So it's 16. So what's the pot odds here? I mean, you only had 940. So it's 600 more for you to, so it's 1800, 600 for you to call.
Yep.
Hijack jams. So 1800, 600 to call. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right.
Wow, that's actually really, really incredible, because I would never, ever be in this spot because I would have jammed myself. I'm trying to think here though, because again, the problem here, even though I would, if you were to say, hey, Bart, like the caller's going to bet 350 here, what do you think the result's going to be? I would be saying, well, the guy's either going to fold, right? He missed hearts, or he's going to call. And if you ask me how often is he going to check raise all in, I would say like less than one in 100 times. So it's so unexpected.
Yep.
The issue here is that, again, I would say, for him to bluff here, it's very, very hard for him to have a non-paired hand as a bluff. Like, unless he has like 7-8 of hearts or something like that, just pure bullshit. Just pure bullshit, which is very, very rare, I would say, at this levels. Like, just some sort of like low heart draw, right? Because like a Queen X of hearts is paired, 10X of hearts, you know, obviously is paired. People can go down that road and they can go, well, this guy could do this with King, Queen, with the King of Hearts, right? That was so funny when I did the Lexo video. There were some comments where I don't know if you remember when Lex was on my couch and he made a call with a straight with ace jack, and the guy had like a king high flush, and there were people in the comments that said, if I was the villain, I would raise here with king queen with the blocker king every single time. As I was saying, that I've literally never seen it at the table nor in 5,000 hours of live commentary. This one is really fucking weird. Jams for, I mean, 600, 1,800, 600 to call. I mean,
and this is but the issue that I was facing. I took probably a minute to think about it, but at this point, I don't know what I could arrive here with and fold, you know. So I called.
I mean, I guess he can have king jack of hearts. It's just weird. Yes, I think I do not fault you here for calling, even though this is an underbluff spot. But you're getting 3-1 here, and it's just so bizarre for what we talked about, why any of these hands would check at the end. So I'm going to close my eyes and call, and I think you might be good here 1 out of 4 times. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, 1 out of 4 times maybe, but not the rest.
So hero calls.
Yeah, he shows ace ace.
He has pocket aces?
Yep.
Oh my god. That is just out to fucking left field. And again,
maybe this is the way to play aces. Like,
I mean, you can use. I mean, it was funny because I didn't know the result of the hand. Obviously, I just talked about how impossible it would be for the guy to have aces. So you can flip back but again, I mean, people come to me for live experience and patterns. That's just like a 1 in 1,000. Because it just makes absolutely no sense for a guy to flat with aces, then lead, get raised, then lead the turn, it's just so bizarre.
Well, he got the max. So
yeah, but I mean, but I do think it's an interesting hand though, in the perspective again though of not allowing your opponent to continue with the betting lead. And let's say that this was a more standard hand where he had ace jack, ace king. If I were you, I'd be raising turn to get the money in against those hands. And if I showed up at the end, the way that you did, I would shove at the end. I would shove at the end.
I'll definitely consider that for the next time this happens to me.
All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and check out the coupon code in the description to try out the Crush Live Poker training site for free.